All right, time to take on the take-home quiz. Take-home quiz. Problem number one. This first question is about. I want you to find the integral from 2 to 9 of f of x dx. Remember, the integral is the area of the curve. So you're simply going to, hopefully, well, I can draw it today. Probably not great. I've got a graph that looks something like this, then goes down, back up, and whatever, doesn't matter. And then, my axes are drawn so well here. All right, good. Okay, so now I recognize that I want to go from 2, which is right here, to 9, which is right here. So I'm going to break this up into sections, right? Find the area of the curve. And I said rectangles and triangles. The spot here is 5, so this becomes 4 times 3, which is 12. This section here becomes 1/2. This height over here is only 2, right? So 1/2, 2 times 4. And so I got a 4 for this. And then down here I've got 2 times 4, which is 8. So the correct answer for number 1 would be 4 plus 12 plus 8, which is 24. Done. That's problem number 1. Problem number 2, here we go. Problem 2 is the integral of 2x cubed minus 1 dx. Boop. And that's going to be raise its power by 1, divide by the power I get, raise its power by 1, divide by the power I get, plus c, because we must not forget the plus c when there's no numbers I'm looking for. So this becomes x to the 4th over 2 minus x plus c. And that's the answer to number 2. Number 2. Number 3, I want to estimate the area of this function. I'm given a function that is y. I'm probably going to want another page from my file. No. Here we go. High-tech system. Here we go. Oh, I lost my. This works good. All right, let's do problem number 3. Problem number 3 is y equals 1/4 x to the second minus 2x, and I want to use a trapezoid rule. I can't spell it. Good. I can't even write. That's the problem. I can spell it fine. And I want 4 equal pieces. So the first thing I notice, since I'm going from 0 to 4, my 4 equal pieces are going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the first thing I do is find where these pieces are. So I plug in a 1 and I get -2 plus 1/4, and that sounds like -7/4 where I come from. -7/4. Okay, and then the next one I plug in a 2 into the equation. I plug a 2 into here, I get 2, 4. My times 1/4 is 1. Which over here, -4, so this becomes -3. And then going down here, plug in a 3, I get, plug in a 3, I get 3 cubed, 3 squared, which is 9. Times 1/4 is 9/4. Minus 6 would be -3 3/4. 3 3/4. Then I plug a 4 in there. And 4 is 4 squared, which is 16. Divided by 4 is 4. Minus 8 is -4. Okay? Now, trapezoid rule says I have to break this into pieces. The first piece I'm going to make is going to be a triangle because I have, this starts at 0, right? So I'm going to go down here like this. I'm going to start tallying up. That's 1/2. The base is 1 times -7/4 plus next piece. Next piece would be a rectangle here, and that's simply going to be 1 times -7/4. And then a triangle on top of here. So the triangle would be plus 1/2, 1. The base is 1, still this triangle. This part here is going to be 1 right here, right? That's 1. And then this height here is -3 minus a -7/4. That's -3/4, I believe. -3/4. plus, and then I'm going to do the next one. I've already got that done and that done. I'm going to do this one right here, which is negative 3 times 1 plus, and this little tiny triangle on top, hardly worth mentioning, but we're doing good math, so we'll do it anyways. 1 times negative 3/4 plus, and then this rectangle across here would be 1 times negative 3 3/4. And the last one is this little, because this is 4, that'd be like a whole fourth more. That's 1/2, 1 times negative 1/4. So I go my calculator. And I'm going to go 0.5 times negative 7 divided by 4 plus negative 7 divided by 4 plus 0.5 times negative 3 divided by 4 minus 3 plus 0.5 times negative 3/4 4 plus that would be negative 15/4 plus 0.5 times negative 1 divided by 4, enter, and I get negative 10.25. Negative 10.25. I'm not sure that's the right answer. If you get something close to that, you might be right and I might be wrong. But let's move on. File, new. Using the exact same picture, now I'm going to do left rewind sums, left rewind sums. I only need 2 pieces, right? So I'm going to check 0, 2, and 4. And I'm going to go how far? 0 down 2. 2 is negative 3. And at 0, my left-hand bound is just 0. So this is going to be 0 times 2 plus negative 3 times 2, and I get negative 6, and I'm done. Yeah. And then that's number 4. And then number 5. Number 5 is the integral from 0 to 4. So I want to find the area of the curve, right? So now I'm going to actually integrate and get the exact value. X to the second minus 2x dx. I have to write all this out with the dx on the end, saying that I'm taking the integral on the x-axis. Alrighty then. So this becomes 1/4 x to the third over 3, right? Raise the power by 1, divide by the power I get, minus 2x squared over 2 plus c. But this thing's bounded, so I'm just going to start at 0. I don't need that plus c. So I'm going to plug in my 4, and I get 1/4. 4 cubed over 3 minus 2 divided by 2 cancels out, so this is going to be 4 squared. So this gives me 64 over 12 minus 16, which I can simplify this by simply saying 16 thirds minus 16, which gives me a whopping negative 32 thirds, which is negative 10 2/3, and I'm done. That's how I do number 8. No, sorry, number 5. Cannot get my mouse back. All right, whatever. Let's try this. There it is. Okay. So I go back over here. Problem number 6. Problem number 6 is the integral of 3x. Yes, I'm going to change it to the 1/3 power minus x dx. All right, raise its power by 1. Divide by the power I get. Raise its power by 1. Divide by the power I get. My plus c. Flip and multiply. I get 9x to the 4/3 over 4 minus x squared over 2 plus c. Yep, it's that simple. I'm done. Alright, that's how you do problem number 6. Also do the free response on another video.